it finally worked. All right. How's your body in the person?
I'm having issues with my left knee, so I
Do
can't.
you want blankets that help him wash his sterilized?
It's not so much pressure, it's bending. I don't know, it's swollen, I don't know what it is. I'm on the verge of having to go see a doctor about it if it doesn't go away soon.
Okay, so when we are seated this morning, take a blanket, lay it over a block, just to give you some comfort, and I want you to sit up on the block a little bit. And then that way, most of the pressure is going to be in your hip, and there won't be so much bend in your knee. Maybe that'll give you a little comfort.
Good morning.
Just kind of play with it. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
I haven't seen you that deep.
I know. I don't know what.
How's your body?
Coming in with it. I think.
You think? It should be pretty darn good. Have you told Diane?
Diane knows. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How exciting. Baby number 2.
I know.
How's your body? I saw your picture. It was on Instagram. I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook, but you look lovely. Oh, like always. Body's good?
Glowing.
She's always glowing. She's dewy. I want dewy as
I'm
well.
dry. I'm like
How's you in your arm?
Me and the mower had a tussle.
It looks like the mower one.
It did.
Okay.
I was more concerned with the head. I was holding it up high to hose it, all the gunk in the grass.
Yeah.
And my grip slid, but it bumped my head, and I was like, tweet, tweet, tweet.
Tweety birds.
And then I looked down, I was like, oh, it took all my hide off.
I see that.
It's not very nice.
You had your hide tent.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Well, that's exciting.
Hello everybody at home, enjoy my mat art. Moments before, my niece and my nephew are in here, and so we have a picture of me and Parker, and then an I love you, and then a picture of Austin and me, and then another picture of Parker doing yoga, and it says down dog. I show you that because I'm going to sit there and it's going to be all over my keister, so you'll see it again. So good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness, I got all my peeps here.
How's your body, Michelle?
My body is alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
Oh, dang, I like it. That's
Oh my gosh,
awesome.
so I have to tell you the story, right? This is my church. I'm going to church like forever. And so I used to be helpful with the YOU director, the youth director. And so we would have all these songs that we would do to kind of get the energy going for all the kids. Me, energy, it goes like this. So here I am. Yay, I found me. Oh my gosh. All right, wait, turn on. All right, so there's this song that we would sing is, I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic. I'm alive, alert, awake. I'm awake, alert, alive. I'm alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
I was going to say, I'm twister this early.
So that would be me. And so I would sing that to Taylor his whole life because, he's always been, and I'm always been like, ah. And so it's just kind of like the Odd Couple. You remember that old TV show?
Yeah.
And I come in, I'm like, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to rise and shine. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're feeling fine. Come on, get up of bed. Come on, get up, you lazy head. And he's like, stop. And I'll get up. If you will just stop, I will get out of bed. I'm like,
I could see him.
mission complete.
Project house. You're probably just dead.
But wait,
Project house.
he's 21 and it still works.
And he
Just
probably
sing to
still gives you that same.
He's like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I love it.
He
That's
goes,
awesome.
just shh. I'm up.
I'm getting there, Mom. I'm getting there, Mom.
Exactly. All right, everybody's checking in. Yay, Barbara. I am so glad you love my shirt because you know who gave it to me. Barbara gave it to me. She's like, I love your shirt.
Perfect
Peace,
match with the
loves, yoga. Did you have a doubt that it would not match my
No,
pants?
no.
I even laid the bras on
I
to
know.
figure out
I
which
see
one.
it all, and it's
Thank you.
beautiful.
All right, let's see. So good morning, Jeannie. Good morning, Brian. Barbara. What else did you say? Good morning, sunshine. My neck and shoulders are sore. In addition to the same old hip thing. I am good. I'm glad you love my shirt. Hi, Alicia. And I see Valerie's here. Good morning. She's laughing at me from all the singing. And he's awake and out of 4 ain't bad. alive, alert, awake, enthusiastic.
That,
So she said, he's awake. 1 out of 4 is not bad. All right, so this week we are going to be working on twists and binds. So binds are anything where you grab your hands around a body part, okay? This can be a bind. Even when you're standing and doing dancer pose, that can be a bind. You are holding a body part in a place, right? But most of the times when you see those postures, they're just like nuts, right? They're like this, where they're like, look, you know, that's a bind too, but we're going to work on twists and binds. Now, some of them will be together, but not all of them. We're going to work through the twists, work on cleansing the body, straightening the spine, but then we're going to work on the binds. Now, here's something that a lot of people don't really get because they just haven't stopped to think about it. What were you going to tell me?
the cup matches. I don't know.
You know the cup matches.
I was like, dang, that is on point.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you for noticing.
Yes.
So, for example, this is a posture that we do often. I'm giving people some chances to sign back in. So, you know, Barbara, you could get a strap if you want to. I'm going to suggest using clothing because some people might not have a strap, but absolutely, if you're watching and you have a strap or a belt that's close, absolutely get it. So that was a really good question, Barbara. You guys here in the studio, if you want to grab a strap, you can. So a lot of times you think, I can't bind because my shoulders are too stiff. That might be true, but if your pose is deep enough, you shouldn't need to make up the difference with the shoulder. So a lot of times I have people that can only get this far, that are trying to grab, and they can't grab. And you would think, oh, well, to put your head down here, I have to already be flexible enough to get here for the shoulder. So I am not, a lot of times we allow the shoulder and the bind to try to take up the slack for the non-flexibility in the hip, right? So binding is easy if you have the flexibility in the pose to start with. So this is another one of those poses that we talk about. If getting your shoulder to your knee is not going to happen, you can't expect your arms to try to make up the difference. And so that's what we're going to unpack in class today. We're good? So if you need blankets for your knees, grab those at home and here. If you want to use the strap, you can do that, but I'm going to give you options of just using your shirt or the waistband of your pants instead, because if you are traveling and you just need a stretch, that's what you'll have on you. But if you want to use that at home, that's fine. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right. We're going to just sit comfortably, check in with the body, check in with the self. I got to ask everybody how they were doing, but this is where you ask yourself. Find your breath. Do you feel the sits bones into your mat? What is the just comfortable seated posture, Sukhasana, and your steady breath tell you? Is your breath short? Is it just in your chest? Are your shoulders sagging? If you're fidgety, why? Just thinking about those things, we allow that right ear to drift towards right shoulder. Left ear towards left shoulder. And back to the center. Set the intention for your practice, what you hope happens in the body or in the mind. Notice your breathing so that you're aware of changes through your practice. Okay, open those eyes, lace the fingers together, smile. Got muscles there, lifting up, super tall spine. From there, we're going to turn to the right. Really tall. I should have missed you guys. Whenever I can't teach on Tuesday because of voting, it always throws me off. And left shoulder comes down, right hand comes up. Nice big stretch. 1, 2, are you pushing your right hip down towards the floor? Feel the tissue along the rib cage here. Just slowly lengthen. That works lymphatic. We get those intercostal muscles working. And we just breathe. And back up. And back to the center. Hands come out and up. And turn to the left. Oh my gosh. Shingles. Holy guacamole. That's rough. Yes, do what you can, sweet pea. Nice tall body. Find your breath. Right shoulder comes down. Left hand comes up. 1, 2, push that left hip down, opening through the hip. 1, again, 2, 3, 4, 5. Contract the left side of the body to come up, hand comes down. Come back to the center, forward folding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back up. Change the cross. Right arm comes down, left arm comes over. Nice big stretch here, opening through side body, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand comes up. We're going to bend that elbow, twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. And back up. Left arm comes down, right arm comes over. Nice big stretch. Oh my goodness. Feeling all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right arm comes up. Bend at the elbow. Twist it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind and lengthen. Slowly we come back up. Hands come behind, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, open through the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming forward, hands come up.
Yay, us. Feel that work. Feel the shoulders, feel grounded through the floor. Nice full breathing. Hands come down to the waistline as we come up. Backs of the hands come together. Roll back body. Three, 4, 5. Gently release. Maybe check in right ear, right shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. Back to the center. From there, we're going to put the bottoms of those feet together. Nice tall spine, lifting through the crown of the head. We're going to fold at hip crease, trying to extend through the crown of the head as we fold forward. Nice long body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come up. We're going to bring the knees up, cross the arms, roll the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees up, change the cross, roll the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those knees back in, reach down, grab right foot. Extend the leg up. Nice big stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That foot comes down. Left one comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That foot comes down. We're going to drop those knees over to the left. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, pushing right hip down. And bring those knees up and over to the other side. So I know that we do this like every time, pretty much, 90% of the time. But this is to give us that sense of sameness, that comfort of routine. And then we can change it up each practice. Bring those knees up and extend. So here's a bind. And a lot of us, we can't grab the feet, and that's okay. Feet is a direction, not a destination. But a bind that you see often that you might not have noticed was a bind is just grabbing your feet. Because you're grabbing, you're hanging on to something. That's a bind, right? So a lot of times you see people who are like uber flexible. You'll see those kinds of things that happen. I mean, ideally I can grab my wrist, but not this morning, I'm a little tight. So you do what you can, but just the grabbing of the feet, that's considered a bind. So it doesn't have to be crazy. It helps facilitate deeper stretching. That's all it's there for. So we're going to just fold in, find the breath. So we're trying to elongate through spine, but allowing belly to come down to thigh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to take that right leg and fold it over the left. Lengthen in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly, we're going to come up. We're going to put the foot next to the knee and we're going to turn. This counts as a bind too. Hooking your arm around your knee, what does it do? It facilitates you pulling yourself around to get deeper into the posture. That counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just to practice getting into a deeper bind without being crazy. We're going to see if maybe we can take the elbow on the outside and lift it up. And just that little bit changes everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release, coming back to the center. Grab that foot, rock it out. This also counts as a bind. So there's things that you're already doing that you were discounting. You thought that it had to be hard. It does not. And it's to help you have a better posture. And we're going to let that foot come to the inside of the thigh. Right hand comes behind. Lengthen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly sit that booty down. Right foot comes into left thigh. Left knee comes up. Right knee comes down. This counts as a bind, just like this. That counts as a bind. And normally when you see a bind, that's typically what you think of, right? 3, 4, 5. Gently release and balance that out. Yes. Let's try the other side. See if we're getting some feedback. I'm really sorry, Alicia, about those shingles. That can make things really, really uncomfortable. Bring that left leg over, reaching in. So just grabbing the foot counts, holding this other foot counts as a bind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come up, foot comes next to the knee. We're going to rotate to the left, tall spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Elbow comes on the outside. I'm glad you're doing what you can. Breath is really going to help you with that because the shingles is already going to have that skin inflamed and it's going to be angry. So as you work, you're going to get warm, which is going to make you feel like you have prickly heat. And because it's inflamed, it's going to have this contraction on the tissue, which is going to make it harder for you to twist. So just breathing through that is going to help. We have those arms up and 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release, coming back. Grab that foot, rock it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take that foot, place it on the inside of the thigh. Left hand comes behind. Reach and extend. Lengthen through the spine. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gently release down. Left foot comes into that right hip. Bring right knee up. And left knee comes down. Nice big stretch here. We feel that work. And we're going to reach that right arm forward. We're going to take that right arm and maybe bind. See on this side, I can grab the wrist. This side's a little more forgiving than the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the key here for me was to make sure that my hip was available and not try to injure my shoulders by forcing that bind. If the hands don't touch, they don't touch. And move forward. So even crossing the legs in poses like lotus, pseudo counts as a bind. I mean, you're not grabbing with your hands, but your feet are bound against one another. I mean, you can classify it that way. But we're going to work on a fun, you guys are always worried when I say that, binding pose that we can do seated. And this is that first time that we're going to either grab the shirt or grab your waistband of your pants. I'm assuming if you're at home that you have on pants. At least jammies for sure. So we're going to take that right foot and we're going to bring it in. I know, it made you guys laugh. That's what I'm here for. So we're just kind of hanging out. So notice that my foot is in the hip crease, right? To do this bind, this is a half lotus forward fold. That is Ardha Baddha Padmasana Paschimottanasana.
It's a long
It's a long one. So what happens is for me to be able to grab this foot, I want to go ahead and turn my shoulders because now I'm making less distance. You see what I mean? I'm bringing my shoulders back here. I'm going to bring my hand behind me and I'm going to try to grab that foot. Now, after I grab that foot, then I'm going to try to bring my shoulders back forward. Now that you may be like, yeah, nice try, but it didn't happen. Yeah, you're right there by your foot. You see, what do you know? You were just as surprised, weren't you?
I really was.
The look on her face is like, that's my foot.
That is my foot.
So you're going to square back off. Now, if you're like, I'm close, but no banana, this isn't working, what you'll do, and I find it works better at the waistband because your shirts tend to be a lighter material, is if you just take your fingers like this, if you guys can see on camera, and I'm grabbing my waistband and turning back forward. Why? Because we want this part of the shoulder to open. This is a way for us to work through that pec major, pec minor by having the arm behind us. Because we do things in our life here. We don't do things in our life back here. Isn't this great? So just even if you did nothing but just sit here with this arm behind you, you've done your work. But we're going to try to slowly come forward. So if you can, that left hand will reach towards the left foot. And that's the bind. Now this also translates to a balance that we can try later. Think that you would be standing on your left foot and folded forward. 3, 4, 5. As we come up, we're going to turn our shoulders back so that we can gently unwind the shoulders, come back forward. So you already feel this opening in the shoulder. It's really good. And because we didn't try to hyper crank the arm around, it's restorative. We're going to let that leg come out. Maybe that knee went to sleep a little bit. Another thing too, Deb, is that when you're doing a pose like that, if you feel like your knee's being cranky, you can also kind of lift it and just put the block under it to help hold the weight of it if it just is fussy. And so we're going to bring that left foot in and put it in the hip. Now, the closer that that foot gets into your hip crease, the easier it's going to be to grab the toe. If your foot's way down here and grabbing it, you're like, no, right? So we're going to slowly turn to the left. Maybe even grab that knee to pull yourself around. Left hand comes behind. We're going to see if we can grab that foot. Maybe you can grab it on the side. You grabbed your foot on both sides, Christy. That's amazing. Right? So maybe you're grabbing that waistband, and now we're going to turn those shoulders forward so that we get this nice smooth lengthening here through pectorals, through the collarbone, down the shoulder. Then we see if we can fold forward. 1. Breathing is a must, ladies. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we start to come back up. We turn the shoulders to the left so that we can gently release with no stress. Turn the body back forward, release that foot out. Little bounce here. Now, I will agree with you that when we go to do this, they're still working the shoulder. And we don't want to do some of these binds with cold shoulders. A cold shoulder. Never mind. So my brain just went, phew. So we're going to do a little work on the floor. So those of you at home that don't know what wall angels are, this is a wall angel, but we're going to do it on the floor, which is really great because gravity is going to help us open. The idea is to keep the elbow and the wrist both flat on the floor as we move. That's probably the only thing you would not be able to see from your space. So we're going to grab those knees, roll back. Oh, if you roll quick enough, you can get that extra little adjustment in that upper thoracic back. Elbows come out, arms come up, bottoms of the feet are flat. From here, we allow those elbows to come up, fingertips touch. Keep the lower back against the floor and bring those hands back down. We're going to bring those hands up and touch. And down, that's 2. Up and touch. And down, that's 3. Up and touch. And down, that's 4. Up and touch. Down, that's 5. Up and touch. Down, that's 6. Up and touch. Down, that's 7. Up and touch. Down, that's 8. Up and touch. Down, that's 9. Up and touch. Down, that's 10. Nicely done. From there, we're going to just release those arms. Maybe put the hands on the belly, and we're going to just let those legs rock from side to side. And then as we release, bring the knees in, hug the knees. Nice little rock from side to side. Arms come out to the side, drop those knees to the left, nice rotation. So this is a twist, really nice twist. What I like about recline twists is muscularly, you do not have to force your body into this posture. Gravity pulls you into this posture. We get a chance to lengthen through connective tissue, wringing out the body, working through the lymphatics. Find your breath. See if you can extend right foot out into left hand. Push right hip away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently release that leg. Come back to the center. Drop the knees to the right. Feel that work, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend that leg up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and gently release. Bring those knees back in. Feet come up. Grab those heels, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to gently release. Grab those knees. Hug them in. Cross at the ankles. We're going to roll it up. And right on over to hands and knees. Now, when we come to these hands and knees, we're going to really get into these twisting postures. And I love this restorative posture. This is a threading the needle, but I like adding it in with the child's posture. So we're going to let the right arm come up. We're going to take that right hand, thread it through, but as soon as we get that right hand through, we sit the hips back. Lengthen that left arm out. So it's a nice rotation here. You can try to let your head or your right ear come down towards the floor. Again, getting into the tissues of the side body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming back up. Left arm comes up. Threading through, left shoulder down, lengthening through the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly we come back up. We're going to put that palm down, turn those toes, down dog. Nice rotation here. Bending and stretching. Lengthening through the spine, filling in lower back, sinking heels towards floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to allow that left foot to move towards center. Right leg comes up, bend the knee, open through the front of hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that right foot come down and let left leg come up. Bend that knee, open through the front of the hip. So this counts as twisting. Open that hip. Try not to twist in the shoulders too much, just to keep them safe. Let it be the opening in the hip. We're going to let that foot come down. Yay, us. And then we're going to put the knees down, right back into child's pose, and release. So we're going to go into some places that we don't think of conventional binds. Well, nothing about me is conventional, but you guys know that and love me anyway. So we're going to come back to table. Now, from this table, we're going to bring that right leg forward. So from this posture, we're going to get a chance to play with lots of things. So remember earlier I was talking about for you to bind with your arm around you, it was all about whether the hip was flexible enough and shoulder placement. A lot of folks have a hard time grabbing the foot behind them. So if you guys here in the studio, if you'll look for a second, those of you at home, if you'll watch the screen a moment, most people, when they try to grab their foot here, they do this. Please take note, I can't grab my foot like this either. It's the position of the body. But if I rotate my shoulders up, see how much taller I am? But my arm can be longer. See how the difference is here? And I can reach down now because I have different mobility so that when I bend the knee, I can grab the foot. You're going to maybe get a cramp in your calf or your quad, but let's see what we can do here. So we're going to let that knee come down. You're going to use your right hand to press on right knee to rotate, try to stack the shoulders and just look up at the sky. Don't even worry about that foot yet. Left down, and you're just pushing to rotate shoulders. Use your right hand on your right knee. This movement right here, push. Nope. Right shoulder up towards sky. That is not your right. Ah, thank you. It's just because you're left-handed. You're left-handed, so your left brains, yeah. All right, that is exactly what we're looking for.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You feel it now. And lean into that left hip. Really open it. Now you're just going to let that left leg float up. Now you're going to reach back and see if you can grab it with your right foot. Chances are you're going to be a lot closer. Yes, you're touching your foot, just like that bottom bend. Yeah, you're going to get cramps, but you did touch your foot. And 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to release that out. We're going to put those elbows down and stretch. Yay! That was a bind that is typically hard for folks. Nice work here. And if your knee is a little grouchy, feel free to put a blanket under it, because we're going to stay here a couple of poses to work on binding. So remember that pose I did earlier where I had my arm under, right? It's easier to learn it with your knee down than it is standing, right? Because you're closer to the floor, you're closer to your thigh. So we're going to come down first into our lizard pose, which we do all the time. Because you can get into lizard pose, right here, I'm here to tell you that means that you can bind around that leg. But our brain doesn't process, right? So we're stretching out. What we're going to do in the beginning is we're just going to lift up with the left arm, not the right one. We're going to try to pull that right knee in close to shoulder, and we're going to reach through that leg. Bend elbow, let left arm come around. Just practice here. 1, 2, 3, balance might be an issue.
Yeah.
4, 5, there's a lot of giggling going on here. And gently release.
I'm reaching, but I'm wanting to tumble over.
Little balance.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is in pigeon, binding in pigeon, right? So we're going to go right into pigeon from here. We're going to walk that right foot over to the side of the mat. We're going to drop that knee down. Now, FYI, for my folks at home, this can be hard on your knee. So if you need to, pull the knee in, especially for you. Is your knee okay?
Yeah.
All right. So once we're here, we're just going to stretch down, see what we've got. Now, I can be a little more flexible, so I'm going to put that foot back. Now, we feel that opening through the front of the left hip. We feel it in the right hip through the glutes. Your focus is to push left thigh down towards floor and not to come over onto your right butt cheek. Now, there's a couple of binds here. There is one that's very similar to that in the beginning where we had the leg crossed and we reached around and we grabbed our pants. We're going to do that again here. It's the same. The floor is holding your foot in place for you. Before, the foot was on your thigh, right? So we're going to turn the left forearm parallel with the front of the mat. We're going to put our right hand on our right knee. Again, using the pressure, we're going to stack the shoulders. That's why we did that other pose first, so that you can see how this works. So we're just going to rotate and push and let the shoulder come up. Now you're going to reach straight up towards the sky. Now you're going to let that arm gently drape around your waist towards the floor behind you. If you let the shoulder still, and you touched your foot, Christy. Just like that. Diane, you touched, and it's just where your foot is. Yep. You bent your shoulder down. If you put your shoulder up again for me, Connie. Yep, your foot is literally right there. Yep, that's it. That's your own foot. If you bring your shoulder up, Deb, if you look towards the blocks, yeah, that's the only thing that I would change. 3, 4, 5, and we're going to gently release. Bring those hands forward, straighten the arms. But wait, there's more. It's like a ShamWow commercial, right? We're going to try to grab that foot that's behind us. Again, that's a bind too. It's all in shoulder placement. We're going to lift that left foot. But I'm going to turn my left shoulder towards the direction I want to grab. Then extend. Notice I didn't turn my shoulder this way. I turned my shoulder in the direction I want my hand to go. It was easier to grab, wasn't it? 3, 4, 5. Gently release. Turn those toes. Put those hands down. Use your upper body. Step back into down dog. Bend and stretch it.
Ooh, mama, see.
Oh, mama, right? Lengthen through the spine, filling in the lower back.
Good stretch in that glute, wasn't it?
Woo. So we're going to bring those knees down. We're going to come into child's pose, stretch it out. And then we're going to come back up. Now this time, we're going to allow the left leg to come forward. Nice big stretch. We take a moment to really feel that work in the front of right hip. Alicia, if you would, honey, can you please give me an update on how you're feeling? So we have this big stretch to the front of that right hip. Now, we're trying to rotate the shoulders again. So we're going to leave that right hand down, left hand goes on the knee, and you're going to push so that you can stack, looking up towards sky. Yes, see, you got it on this side. Left hand comes straight up. Now bend your right knee and see if you can reach back and grab. Don't let your shoulder sink because you will think about your foot and stop thinking about your shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. As you release, we're going to bring those elbows straight down and come into. So I'm getting these random messages from people who are watching. And my friend Angie posted the picture that I posted this week, the look on my face when people say they're too stiff. And she reposted my picture, and underneath it says, well, that's me, LOL. What they mean is they're too stiff not to look ridiculous while practicing yoga, LOL.
I like that picture.
Yes.
I like how you had your hair in the little twist.
With the little knots, yes. And slowly, we're going to try this bind here. So we're going to come up. If you want to keep the right arm down for some balance, left arm's going to reach under left knee and around. And then you're going to see if maybe you can reach right arm around and grab. Hanging out here for a little bit, trying to balance. Doesn't matter if you look amazing or spectacular or Instagram worthy. It's just grabbing those hands. I teetered to 2. And 3, 4, 5. We're going to release that out. We're going to let that left foot travel to the right side of the mat. Good morning, Bo. Nice to see you. And we're going to come into this posture as best as possible. Now remember, my folks at home, if your left knee is really cantankerous, then your foot's going to be closer here. Now that will affect how you grab your foot. The more the foot is here, the easier it's going to be to grab, but it's still reachable.
I like that word, cantankerous.
Cantankerous, right?
That's a good word.
It is. That's my dog in a nutshell. cantankerous, especially with all these afternoon storms. We're going to turn that right arm parallel to the front of the mat. Left hand comes on the knee. Rotate those shoulders. Remember, we're stacking shoulders first. Those shoulders are very intelligently designed, and they can easily be messed up. So we stack them so they'll be most effective. We're going to let that left arm come straight up. Drape it around the waistline and they'll fall on the foot. Ideally, if the left shoulder's straight up.
Look at there, Christy, you got the feet on both sides.
I did. The right.
Your shoulder needs to be up more. Yeah.
Okay. The left side or the other side's a little easier.
Mm-hmm. But if you just focus on your left shoulder going up because it's starting to creep down, and don't crank your neck.
It doesn't want to come up.
It doesn't want to.
It doesn't want to
It
do it.
doesn't want
It
to.
doesn't want to do it.
And gently release. And slowly we're going to come up, bring those hands over to the right, lift that right leg. Now remember, we want the shoulder to go where the hand is going to go, where we want it to reach. Left hand's down, reach back, grab. Other hand, Deb. Right hand, right foot.
Up.
Yes, mama, just like that. Yay! 3, 4, 5, and gently release. Oh, there's somebody else commenting on that same picture. And sit the butt down. Let me see. What if they said the aliens inside their gut will try to escape because they do yoga? That's hilarious. And gently release and back. Everybody's seeing that picture this morning. Bending and stretching. Thank you for that, Vicki. That's hilarious. 3, 4, and 5. We're going to bend those knees looking forward. Step forward. Fingertips flat back. Yay, us. Woohoo. Forward fold. Looking at those knees. Shake your head no. Shake your head heck yeah. Inhale all the way up. Hands come down. Right? Shoulders up by the ears. Back down, up by the ears, and back down. Now then, you guys won't see me and I can't move. So you're going to really have to use your listening skills because Christy, you won't be able to see it all. Hands come to the heart, step out to the right. We're going to work on all our twists. So we're going to turn right toes out. We're going to lunge into warrior 2. Check in with your right knee. Make sure that it's not rotating out. You're making a nice line between your 2 ankles and your 2 heels. Left elbow rotates around and comes onto right knee. Revolved side angle pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind. Come back to center. Turn left toes out. Come into warrior 2. Revolve right elbow comes around. Left elbow or to left knee. And left hand comes on top of right hand. Nice rotation. Don't dump here in the shoulder like this. Press to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unwind, come back up, yay us. Arms come out. Hands come in. And out. One more time, in. And out. Small break in between. We're going to come forward. Hands come onto the floor. Now, with the hands on the floor, we're going to let the left hand come into the center. I want you to notice that as you start to twist your right arm up, your hips will want to shift. Don't let them. So we're going to let that right arm and right shoulder start to rotate up. Your hips will want to shift to the right. Lock out right leg. Don't let it. Now, will it minusculely do it? Yes. But it's your awareness that your body shifts to accommodate the twist. By not letting those hips move, you had to twist in the torso. You did not modify. You did not cheat. Right hand comes down. Left hand begins to come over. Your hips will want to shift. Don't let them. And look up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand comes down. Bend the knees. Slowly come up. Arms come out. We're going to turn those toes to the right. We're going to lunge into warrior 2. We're going to do a modified revolved triangle posture. Left hand comes to the floor. Maybe you turn the angle of that left foot in a little bit for you. We're going to rotate those shoulders because we practiced that part already. Right hand comes up. Now we're going to see if maybe we can straighten right leg. Maybe that didn't happen. Maybe your hips are like, holy guacamole. And 3, 4, 5. We're going to let that hand come down, soft bend that knee, press down for your foot to come up. And let's turn to the left. We're going to come into warrior 2. We're going to allow right hand to come to the floor. Rotate those shoulders. Left hand comes up. Begin to straighten left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We let that left hand come down, bend the knee. Press through that foot to come back up, come to center. Arms come in. And out. One more time, in. And out. Let the hands drop. 2 steps to come into the center. 1, 2. Scoop hands through to come into chair. Lift pelvic floor. So you're squeezing that pelvic floor, but you pull navel towards spine. So you're flattening out the back. A little bit of tuck here. So we're going to that anterior, from anterior to posterior, pelvic tilts. We're going to let the hands come together at the heart. Right elbow comes down to left knee as we rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the center. And rotate. Left elbow comes to right knee. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to let those hands come back up. Press down to come up. Hands come down. And walk it out. You guys can turn to face me. Yay. Get that twist out. So the peak posture, instead of doing something like bird of paradise pose, which is just ridiculous, right? That's one of those ridiculous binds that you see on Instagram. We are going to practice the one we did on the floor. That half lotus forward fold. So it was easy on the floor because our weight was on our tuchus, right? But now the weight's going to be on our foot. So we're going to try. So how this will look, let me show you first. So we're going to take that foot, we'll hold it. Once you find that you can hold it, you're going to reach around and try. Now notice my shoulder went back and try to grab the foot. And you're like, I couldn't do it seated. I'm not going to be able to do it standing. That's okay. You're going to do this part again, like this, because we want the shoulder to be open. You're like, okay, then how's my foot going to stand? You're going to continue to hold it with the other foot. So if you're modifying, it's going to look like this. Okay. And then this foot will stay in place. As you start to fold, it'll put pressure against the thigh. You can release. We want this arm to stay behind. If you're binding, it'll look like that. All right? To come up, soft bend in the knee. Try to roll up. Release it out. And practice only. All right, so let's try it together. If you find that you need a wall or a chair, grab that. Left foot, heel, ball, toes. Put all the weight into left foot. Next. So we're going to take that right foot, bring it up. Maybe you hang on to it with both hands. Okay?
Right arm reaches around, maybe it grabs your pants, maybe it grabs the foot. Forward fold. Remember, if you have to hang on with your left hand, you do that. Hand comes down towards floor or your shin or wherever it needs to come down. Maybe you're grabbing the sofa at home or whatever you need to grab. You want to try to look at your knee, not your foot. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Soft bend in that knee to slowly come up as you release and set it down. There's much giggling going on.
Because I look over and she was going.
Much giggling going on. Like one of those things at the car wash that goes like that, right? Let's switch sides. Right foot, heel, ball, toes. All the way, right foot.
Certainly challenges the balance.
It definitely does. We're going to grab that left foot. Again, maybe both hands stay here. Ideally, I'd like your arm to be behind you, even if it's the shirt or pants, so that you can open this pectoral. Begin to lean forward. Where's your breath? Aha, you were holding it. Don't. Hold the pose, not your breath. Look at your knees, not your foot, so that the neck can extend. You can soften the face. Maybe a shake no, and yes, we'll release any type of pressure that you've got going on. And 3, 4, and 5. Soften that right leg. Slowly start to come up. Release it out. Was it better?
Yes.
Oh, good. And we're going to come back to the center. Inhaling up.
Nice full work. And forward folding.
Oh. Shaking the head, no. Shake the head, yes. Inhale all the way back up. Nicely done. Grab that right wrist with the left hand, lengthen to the left. Contract to come up. Right hand grabs left wrist and reach. I know, right? And back up. Hands come down. We're going to widen that stance, bend those knees, put your hands down, come into a squat, aka coffee drinking pose.
I don't understand.
Now you don't have to.
What pose is that?
He's like, I don't understand what's happening. You don't have to, my dear. It's quite all right. All right. Now, from here, we're going to slowly start to come back down. Let's see if she ever checked back in. And sit back and home. This is harder for me than Bird of Paradise. Really? No way. Bird of Paradise is stupid hard, Barbara. You're just awesome. That's it. So we're in this pose. We're hugging those knees. Feel that work. Nicely done. Everybody's checking in still. All right. And then from there, we're going to slowly roll back. Pull those knees in. Nice little rock from side to side. Arms come out and drop those knees over to the left. Nice rotation. Bring those knees back into the center, over to the right. Again, nice rotation. Remember, twisting helps us align that spine, balance chakras, cleanse and purify our organs. It squeezes out those toxins. Helps us remind to breathe. We're going to bring those legs back in. We're going to put the bottoms of the feet flat on the floor and windshield wiper those legs from side to side, feeling that work in the hip. You're going to slowly let those hands come to your belly, perhaps. And slowly walk those feet in so that the feet are hip distance apart. Hands come down to the floor. We're going to press through the floor, lifting up, coming into that bridge posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slowly rolling down. Extend one leg, and then the other leg, and prepare for Shavasana. We let the back body sink down to the floor. Top body sinks down on back body. Find your breath. We release the feet, the ankles, the shin and calf. We release the knees, the thighs, the glutes, pelvic belly. We release lower back and navel, mid back and solar plexus, shoulder blades and heart, collarbones, throat, jaw. From here, we just find the breath. We notice its natural rhythm. Find that alignment, check in to see if there's anything else that needs an extra little stretch. We check in with that physical body, mental body, energetic body, emotional body, and that fifth one is that spiritual body. And sometimes that's a little elusive, and that's okay. Some days it just comes, some days it goes. But the other 4 we can find most of the time. So here in the studio, we're going to just start to begin to wiggle those fingers and toes. If you're at home and you want to continue to rest, please do so. We're going to slowly start to shift and move. Maybe you start to stretch those arms above the head. Yawn, maybe bend those knees, put the bottoms of the feet on the floor, maybe take a windshield wiper. Maybe we can pull those knees in, one at a time, a little rock. Slowly rolling to the right side. Then we slowly press up to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Once you make it to that seated position, we allow the hands to come to the heart. We remind ourselves of all the amazing things we have in our life to be thankful for. We send out love and kindness and compassion to those who need it.
We're going to end our practice today with an Om, if you're comfortable with that. I'll start it and you can join in. Inhaling. Bowing forward in respect, namaste. Peace be with you. Go safely. And thank you for coming. Yay, yoga. That was an awesome practice. You guys did amazing. So we did our twisting. We did ourselves some binding. Shoulders are going to feel amazing. Really good circulation through side body. We got all of those toxins out. I hope everybody at home's doing good. Looks like it. Yay, Shavasana. Everybody's like, woo-woo, favorite pose. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me from home. Love you big. So I have lots of changes that are going to be coming for you guys here in the studio, for you guys at home. I'm teaming up with this partner that has Cast TV, Cast with a Q, and I'll start doing streaming live there, kind of like a streaming thing, like streaming TV. And so I'm going to do workshops and things on that format, which is a little easier because not everybody does Facebook. So there's some of you that don't do Facebook that allow you to participate in a streaming class. And what's really nice about this particular format is, like, if you want to make a donation, you can do it from right there by clicking a button. You don't have to leave the screen to go to a PayPal or to go to a Google or to, you can literally just hit donate and it goes ka-ching right over to me. It makes it easier for the watcher, easier for me, kind of like the future. It's so funny when you have something happen like COVID that forces us to get a little more savvy. So my very first one of those is going to be on August the 29th, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday, and it's going to be a workshop, and it's, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a splits workshop, because everybody can do splits. Everybody, even if you're stiff, you can do splits. So, yeah, I know, right? You're laughing, but that's what it's going to.
I'm laughing with you.
You're right there. So that's what that's going to be, but it's going to be on the 29th, and as we get closer, you're going to see posters pop up for it on Facebook if you use Facebook or Instagram, and then I'll talk about it here in class. I'm not sure if I'll film it here at Unfiltered yet, but I'll keep you guys posted, and that way you guys get to try it out. You guys get to see if you like that format. If so, then I'll have some classes there more than once a week. I wanted to try to appeal to those people who just don't do Facebook. It makes it easier for them. It's a little more user-friendly for me to be able to answer the comments, to see what's going on. So you'll still have that little dialogue there to the right so you guys can talk to each other, but I'll be able to see you a little better. Yeah? Yay! Okay, you guys at home, big hugs. I'll keep you posted. Bye.
Nice.
I know, it's exciting, right?
Kinds of things going on.